Welcome to the Wager Detective Report for breakdown analysis and prediction for this game.
All right, hello and good evening, folks. This is Wager Detective back at you. We're going to cap this Cubs versus Mariners game. We look at this Cubs team, dynamite, led by Pete Crow. Armstrong leads the team in all metrics. You got Horner, Bregman, Armstrong, Bush, Happ, Suzuki, Swanson. They're all fantastic over there. And just a really great team that looks like they're going to make the playoffs. When we look at them, last nine versus the Mariners, they're 5-4, -5 run differential, scoring 5.33 runs a game to 5.89. Last nine versus the Mariners, they do have a winning record, but they're minus in the run differential department. So it's going to be interesting to see what they could do there. They did have the day off yesterday, coming from home, going now on the road, and the Mariners just came from losing to the Brewers. So when we look at the Cubs last nine, we look what they did. They took 2 out of 3 from Washington, lost 2 of 3 from St. Louis, and then took 2 for 3 from the White Sox. So an emotional series there, but they had time to reset there, and now they're going to be having that day off and then heading to Seattle. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in that regard. This team is solid, man. I like this team. I like what they can do, and I like their offense, man. They're pretty solid. When we look at them this year, they're 74-54 on the year, and they're 36-27 on the road. They're just a fantastic team at home, on the road, and they're right there behind Milwaukee, trying to creep up on them to try to get this division, but they're going to probably make the playoffs here, looking good. When we look at what they're doing, they're plus 100 in run differential. That's one of the better ones in the National League. They're right at the top there, one of the top 4 teams in the National League with plus run differential, and they're 6-4 in their last 10. And last 9 overall, they're 5-4, -7 run differential, scoring 4.7 runs a game, but giving up 5.44. They're batting .242 over their last 9 with a .217 average with runners in scoring position. When we look at their last 3 games, they're batting .238 with 200 average with runners in scoring position. So they're scoring over their last 9, but they're giving up runs also over their last 9, and they're -7. So when we look at the Cubs on the road this year, 36-27. They're hitting .244 on the road this year, 5.29 runs a game, 1.25 home runs per game on the road this year, .328 on-base percentage with a .738 OPS and a .410 slug. This team is just fantastic. I mean, they got the bats, man. If they could just find the pitching, they could give any team in baseball a problem across all metrics. They're just fantastic. Since July, they're 26-16, scoring 5.5 runs a game, almost a home run and a half a game, batting .257. Since July with a .778 OPS, and they're getting on base at 34%. I mean, it's just fantastic numbers that you're looking at there. I mean, these are some of the hottest metrics you're going to see in all of baseball, and they got power. The guys get hit for home runs. Armstrong's leading that team, but they got Suzuki, Horner, Happ. They just got so many guys in that lineup that can beat you, utility guys, and they're just playing phenomenal baseball since July. Now, this is going to be going from homestand to a day off to the road. This year, they're 2-2, -3 run differential. They're only scoring 3 runs a game in this split to .375 against. They're hitting .215 in this split average, and then they're hitting 200 with runners in scoring position. So 2-2 when they have a go from home to the road with a day off in between, only scoring 3 runs a game and batting .215, and not hitting good with runners in scoring position. So an interesting split there, to say the least. And they're going to be seeing Emerson Hancock, 27-year-old, 6'4", righty. He's 7-7 this year with a 3.30 ERA, 119 strikeouts with a 1.11 WHIP. Just tells me right there that they're either not hitting for him, the bullpen's not shutting the games, because those numbers look really respectable in 14 starts to have a 3.30 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP with all those strikeouts. So he's looking good. Hancock is. Now we look at his last 5 starts. He is 1-4. His team's 1-4, -10 run differential. They're scoring 3.2 runs a game to 5.2 runs against. In 28 2/3 in his last 5, he's given up 11 hits a game, a respectable 3.77 ERA, but he's given up 1.26 home runs per 9 and striking out nearly 8. The win came against the Astros. The losses came against the Rays, Tigers, Dodgers, and Reds. And I would put the Cubs lineup against any one of those teams. So it's going to be tough sledding here if he's given up 11 hits per 9 over his last 5. And the ERA and the home runs to boot could be a problem. When we look at his home splits, he's 3-4 this year in 12 game starts, 69 innings pitched, giving up about 7 hits a game, 3.13 ERAs respectable, a home run per 9, walking less than 2 batters per 9, and striking out 9 batters per 9 for a .224 batting average against at home this year. Respectable. All numbers here in the home splits in 69 innings, great. The ERA is great, fantastic. We look at the Mariners. They're 60 and 68 on the year. They're only 4 games behind Houston. They're only a game behind Texas. So this is a big series for them. Big series for both these teams. But Seattle coming off of getting drubbed by Milwaukee, they're going to want to get their confidence back. They're 33 and 29 at home this year, and they're scoring runs, man. They're a pretty decent team. I like this team. They have a lot of talent. And again, they're trying to find the matter. When you look at their run differential, they're minus 46. So when we looked at the Cubs are plus 100. These guys are minus 46 run differential in the year. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They got a 32% chance to make the playoffs. And I don't even know if they have what it takes, but they got some talent in this lineup. They got decent pitching. I like Kirby. Not Kirby. I like a couple of their pitchers, and even the guy that's going tonight, Hancock. When we look at who they got on their team, led by a Rosarena with batting average, Rodriguez leading the team in RBIs, and then Young leading the team in RBIs, and Rodriguez leading the team in home runs. I like Young, I like Naylor, I like Rodriguez, Rosarena, obviously, Canzone. Raleigh's having a very bad year. Crawford, Raley, they got some guys that utility that are decent, but overall not a bad team. When we look at what they've done in their last 9, they are 4-5. They lost 2 out of 3 at Milwaukee. They're coming home after that long road stand. Look at this, 3, 6, 9 games on the road, and just having a tough time along the way. They did do good against Houston, got beat up by the Yankees and the Brewers. Now they're going against another team that can just hit at all costs, and they're not going to get any rest here. They're going to come back from Milwaukee and do this. So now in their last 9 games, they're 4-5, minus 27 run differential. They're scoring 3.7 runs a game, the 6.7 against. When we get into their hitting, they're hitting 237 over their last 9. Not bad. 241 with runners in scoring position. When we isolate to their last 3 against the Brewers there, they only hit 212 in that series with a 240 average with runners in scoring position. When you look at the runs for and against, we got to factor in the fact that one of those losses was to Milwaukee, where they lost 22-0, got absolutely smacked, paintbrushed, and took to the woodshed in that game. So when we look at them at home this year, 33 and 29, 222 batting average, only scoring less than 4 runs a game. Home run, the power's there. 31% on base percent with a 679 OPS, but just not a good batting average. Their record is good. Just tells me that their pitching probably came through in a lot of those games. They're giving up home runs. They're not scoring enough compared to with the Cubs. And the numbers we looked at in the batting average, just not that good. But they are 4 games above 500 at home this year. When we look at them against left-handed pitching, they're only hitting 216 against left-handed pitching. 1.16 runs per game against left-handed pitching. 30% on-base percentage with a 640 OPS, just not good at all. And you look no further than the 216 average. And look, 41 home runs and all those at-bats, not good. When we look at who they're going to see, Matthew Boyd, 35-year-old left-hander, renaissance year. He's 8-2 this year with a 4.02 ERA, 68 strikeouts with 1.24 whip. He got drubbed in his last outing against the Cardinals. They hit him up for 4 home runs. But he is much better, as we'll see in these stats, on the road than he is at home. When we look at Boyd, 2026 season, 8-2, giving up less than 8 hits per 9, 4.02 ERA. Home runs are a problem, giving up 1.38 home runs per 9, and walking almost 3 batters per 9 in the whip, 1.24. So the numbers look good as far as the record. The ERA is manageable. The home runs and the walks could cause problems in a game like this against some power bats in that lineup like J-Rod and Rosarena. We will see, but the record looks good. I mean, they're hitting for him, obviously. In his last 5 starts, he's 3-2 plus 9 run differential for the Cubs. They're scoring 5.8 runs a game to 4 runs against when Boyd starts in the last 5. He does have 33 innings pitched in his last 5 outings. With a 3.82 ERA, the home runs come at 2 a game over his last 5. The wins came against the Padres, Dodgers, and Royals. The losses came against the Cardinals twice in the last 5 in the split. But they're hitting for him. They're scoring almost 6 runs a game for him, and plus 9 run differential, which is solid. His last start, he got pounced. The Cubs lost to the Cardinals. He had 5 1/3, 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 home runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Not by far his worst outing of the year so far, and you were expecting that to happen sooner or later. I expect him to have a bit of a bounce back spot here, but when you give up 4 home runs in one game, is the velocity slowing up? You don't really know, but It's not good going into this game. When we look at his away splits, this is where it gets better. He's 3-0, 7-game starts, 42 innings pitched, giving up less than 8 hits a game. The ERA is below 3, less than a home run a game. He's only given up 2 home runs on the road this year. The walks are a concern, 3.6 walks per 9. Strikeouts aren't there, and the teams are batting .236 against him. So the record's there. Tells me that they're hitting for him. The ERA is respectable, 2.57, compared to, if you look at his home numbers, I should have added it, but way better on the road. When we look at these two bullpens, the Cubs 11th best in baseball, the Mariners are 14th. The Cubs had off yesterday, so they're going to be a little bit more fresh than these guys. Savali did have 34 pitches on Wednesday, and Rollison had 18 on Wednesday, but other than that, they're all fresh. When we look at the Mariners bullpen, Rucker had 40 pitches yesterday, Diaz had 25 pitches, and Ferrer had 14 pitches, so they're a little less fresh. And you look at these guys, you look at the Cubs, a couple of those guys getting banged around, Thielbar and Rhea this week for a 4.50 and 6 ERA respectively. But then you look at the Mariners, their top, Munoz is going to be fresh. You're not going to see Rucker because he pitched 40 pitches yesterday. Dominguez is fresh, ready to go, but he's got banged around this week. And you look at all their guys. Diaz got banged around this week. Ferreira got banged around. He pitched 14 pitches yesterday. So you're not going to see Rucker. You could see Dominguez. You could see Spear. Diaz had 25 pitches yesterday. Guys, if I'm looking at this game, this is a super tough cap for me. I do think the under is a reasonable call here. I would say that with the splits I'm looking at from Boyd on the road this year, and I expect a bounce back spot. I think the Cubs are more trustworthy in this spot. I'm going to throw Boyd's last start out the window, so my call here is going to be the Cubs to win this game. By the smallest of margins. It's going to be a pull your hair out type game, but I do call the Cubs, and I call the under 7.5. This is Wager Detective. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate and love all my fans out there. Thank you. Subscribe this video. Follow me and set alerts on YouTube for me. And I love all my fans out there, present and future. Let's go Cubs, and let's go under. I'll talk to you soon.
Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.